Hello citizens, welcome to day one of GABF, the Great American Beer Festival. Northern Brewer and Brewing TV showed up yesterday, had some beers, did some swimming, went to Wynkoop Brewing Company last night for a brewers gathering, but today we got our booth set up, and in a couple hours the people are going to be flooding this area looking for great beers. I'm here with my homies Juno Choi, Garth Blomberg, Chip Walton, and of course Mike Dawson is at home. So, without further ado, all for brew, brew for all. So right now, a couple hours before the people come in, they've got all the stations set up for pouring. As you can see, Great South Bay Brewery, Harvest Moon Brewery, Horsehead Brewing Company. They're all divided up by regions from the US. So over here we've got the Northeast. Now, the Midwest is over there, the Southeast is over there, the Rocky Mountain region, California, they're all over there. This place is huge. There's no way you're gonna drink every single beer. Along with breweries, you have a lot of vendors, much like Northern Brewery. You got Muttons over here, setting up. Hello, hello. Over here, you've got an education area where people are gonna be giving talks, they're gonna be doing game shows. Brian Perky, everybody. GABF is divided up into 4 sessions. A Thursday night session, a Friday night session, a Saturday night session, and a Saturday afternoon session. And that's the session where only AHA and BA members are allowed to come in. And that's also where they hand out the awards to the GABF contest. Now every year an award goes out to the best decoration, the best setup, the best booth. So not only are these breweries trying to compete for, best in category or best new small brewery, but also award goes out to the best setup. And I gotta say, Shorts Brewing Company, this will probably be in the running. My plan for the 3 or 4 days is to check out some of the smaller breweries. I'm pretty familiar with the larger breweries, so I'm not really gonna pay much attention to them. Plus their lines seem to be too long. What you really wanna do is you wanna go to the small breweries. The breweries are here for maybe the first time, serving their beer for the first time. The lines are usually short, the brewers are usually on hand. It's a great way to find out about beers in your region or other regions around the US. So in the last hour or so, getting set up for the first session, wrapping things up. People are vacuuming the carpet. Vendors are setting up, getting their stuff looking good, because in very little time, madness will ensue.
Are we live? Are we on?
Yeah, we're going.
We're going.
Yeah.
All right. First one was in 1982. About 800 people showed up, plus the volunteers and the brewers, and there were 22 brewers, more or less, and 40 beers. To put 30 years in perspective, there are 3 times as many beers at this year's beer festival than there were people at the first beer festival. When we started in 82, we were off people's radar. We had the first Great American Beer Festival, and there was a core group of people in Boulder, Colorado, and the Front Range of Colorado that came to that festival. People didn't think a whole lot of it. They thought we were crazy, just like people thought microbrewers were crazy to start brewing companies at a time when breweries were closing faster than you can imagine. When you walk into this walled off area with these 1982 Great American Beer Festival logos, you're entering a space that was exactly the size of the first Great American Beer Festival. So you're kind of gonna get a sense that this little pinky print here in this giant hall is what we had in 1982, and we thought it was the greatest. I mean, it was the greatest at the time, and we were blown away that we could fill a room with that many beer enthusiasts in 1982. What's being served in there are pretty much the beers from the breweries that participated in 1982 and are also here in 2011. So, and there's a whole lot of photographs down memory lane of various festivals throughout the 30 years. You know, we're not only celebrating the first one, but we're celebrating the evolution of the beer festival. And there are a lot of people in this room that have been to more than a couple of dozen of the beer festivals that have stories that maybe I want to hear about, maybe I don't want to hear about. I have a great deal of satisfaction that, you know, that fundamental foundation of what this beer festival started from, the American Home Brewers Association, is still alive and well with, I think, over 25,000 members. And now there's a professional amateur competition where home brewers are brewing at craft brewers around the country, and they're competing here at the Great American Beer Festival. And it's really, really satisfying to see the small brewers supporting the home brewers in their local communities, and the home brewers supporting their local brewers. It's just a great synergy, and it's what, you know, the beer community in this country is all about.
Do you think it's possible to drink every beer in this room in one session?
Wow, even at one drop at a time, yeah, you know, that would probably be overdoing it.
I'm Chip Walton, the Brewing TV video guy. Friday started with a media luncheon and beer pairing, an event hosted by the Brewers Association and its craft beer program director, Julia Hertz. The topic of the presentation, brewpubs.
Starting in the fall of 2007, our country started to see harder times, definitely recession-style times, and we still have a restaurant sector within the beer category growing. That is an incredible thing to state.
Lunch featured a delicious menu, including a beet and fennel salad, grains of paradise seared lamb loin, a decadent pumpkin bread pudding, a 4-cheese plate, all paired with award-winning beers from last year's GABF. 10 brewers were on hand to say a few words about the business of brewpubs and their place on the craft beer map.
Knowing that our mission was going to be off-centered ales and beers that were a little bit more exotic, full-flavored, wine-like in their complexity, intensity, and ageability, we chose to go the model of brewpub instead of microbrewery, because we also knew we didn't have much money and we didn't really have much of a marketing or advertising budget. So our feeling was bang for the buck in terms of educating people about why our beer was special and different and innovative and distinct, was if we could create an environment where we could have a direct dialogue with the customer. And there's really no better example of that than making the beer in a building, then carrying that beer over the table and talking directly with the customer.
And then I read Michael Jackson's World Guide to Beer. Sounds a little bit cliche, but it's true. It basically encompassed everything that I loved about when I was studying at Cal and living in the Bay Area. History, culture, tradition, food, beverage. It was all encompassed in that book, and I remember sitting on the couch at 26 years old saying, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
After the luncheon, Garth and I boarded a bus for a quick 3-stop tour of Colorado beer. First stop, a tiny brewery called Strange Brewing Company. Strange ended up winning a gold medal at this year's GABF competition for its gluten-free lemon pale.
When I started as a home brewer, I had a 48-quart igloo cooler with a copper manifold on the bottom. And now I got a 1,200-quart igloo cooler. We're thinking about painting this thing red with a white lid.
Yeah, they use
painting igloo on the side. We just finished a tour with Pateros Creek that just opened a little while ago, and I was telling them we were doing 1 barrel at a time for the last 15 months. We brewed 250 barrels in 15 months, 1 barrel at a time. As of September 1st, we had everything working on the 7-barrel. We brewed 35 barrels in 19 days, trying to get ready for this week. So we were doing like 10, 15, 20 barrels a month, and we did 35 barrels in a little over 2 weeks on our new setup. So it's a world of difference. The advantage that we have, though, is this boil kettle and this mash tun will do a 3-barrel batch. And with having 10 taps and needing to keep a large variety of beers on tap, I didn't want to do 7 barrels of our wheat. And at a keg a week, 14 weeks, that wheat's not fresh. We want to turn over the wheat every 4 to 6 weeks. So if we can still do 3-barrel batches, without breaking out the old one barrel system. Huge time saver.
The brewing area's pretty small, but they're making it happen. I dig the ethics, friendly guys. Seems like they have a lot of great beers. Time to get on the bus.
Next stop, Highland Tap and Burger, a beer bar focused on Colorado beers. There we were treated to Odell's Mercenary Double IPA and its Bourbon Barrel Stout, as well as Oskar Blues HGH.
I think one of the cool things about Colorado, and I think so many states are seeing this in craft beer, is the collaborative nature between breweries, and it's really fun to be able to pour special beers alongside of our friends in the craft beer industry. So I think that's a really cool thing to be able to come down and see what they're passionate about and what they're working on, and also share ours.
But what we've got here is HDH, stands for homegrown hops. It was inspired by a farm that we have about 5 miles from our brewery. And it is a self-sustaining farm where we use the spent grains and some of the outflows from our brewery to supplement Black Angus cows, and we're now raising a couple of acres of hops. It's a dry hop strong ale, 8%, and it's a Centennial and Nugget hops, supplemented from an Amarillo. We are pairing it with a very delicate beef stick. From one of our first cows, one of our first Black Angus cows out at the farm.
Yeah, we were just at the Highland Tap. Yeah, it's great. Oskar Blues and Odell were there. Oh yeah, very tasty, entertaining. Great little pub as well. They really help support the local breweries. Yeah, I enjoyed it. All right, I love you, Mom.
One final stop, the rare beer tasting at Wine Coop Brewing Company. Volunteers poured dozens of rare, aged, wild, and specialty beers from local and national breweries.
All for Brewer, Brew for all! Come on, yeah!
After all that, I was hoping to take a little beer nap. But a beer nap was not in the cards. Back at the convention center, festival staff and volunteers were already gearing up for the Friday night session. Another round of madness was about to ensue. And where there is madness, you know you're sure to find the Cobra.
Well, hi there, Justin.
Dude, I didn't know you were going to be here this year, Cobra.
I can. Friday night, that's my night.
You can't miss a good Friday night if you're the Cobra.
The Cobra likes a good Friday night. It's Kevin.
Yes. What's happening, Cobra?
Not much.
Enjoying the beer festival?
I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
I'm pouring beer after beer after beer for the masses. It's very enjoyable.
As you can see, we're having a good time in the GABF. All
Cheers.
for brew.
Brew for all.
Loves you guys.
Yes. Brew TV rules.
I'm gonna prowl the aisles of the GABF. What's up, girl?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Fantastic, good to see you guys.
Tell us about your book.
It's called Craft Beers of the Pacific Northwest, and it is a beer lover's guide to Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia.
Does it look like a backpack?
Right now it does, yes. It has 18 pub crawls. It covers every place where you would want to go and have excellent beer in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, cheers to that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what these people are dancing to. They're just running around like wild animals. Okay, now I get it. It's a song about freaking out. I'm gonna get down. I have to admit, this is not real. I know. I used to have one like this. But then I had to shave it off.
Is it because you gone corporate? What's the rationale?
I have. Dirty secret, the Cobra's gone corporate.
I need a name. We should put it up on a Facebook contest or something. Or Northern Brewer. Maybe they could support the name that stash.
Citizens, name that stash. Send your comments to brewingtv@northernbrewer.com or post it to our Facebook page. There's this other show being filmed. Here's why I'm at this beer fest. Because I like to wear Vans shoes and tight jeans, and I still rock long sleeves under short sleeves, because that was awesome in the mid-90s. I shouldn't be making fun of him. They have a much bigger camera and probably a much bigger budget. What are you guys? Pandas?
Pandas. Arr! But I raise you a mustache.
Oh my! That's almost as real as mine.
But yours is fake.
No! Hi, Jake Keeler reporting for Brewing TV. As you can see, the Cobra's right over here.
I don't know what you said, so I'm just gonna talk into your microphone.
Panda wins. Joe Mohrfeld, everybody. Head brewer, Odell Brewing. Tell me a bit about Castle Grayskull.
I spent some time there. Tried to milk that time I spent there to get off the retail floor at the Northern Brewer back in 95, 96, quite a bit. So fairly familiar with the area.
Juno, you know a lot about Castle Grayskull. What kind of improvements have they made to Castle Grayskull over the years?
You know, I think we actually have a lock on Castle Grayskull, so you know it's not as treacherous. You don't have to cross the moat without fear of somebody coming into you at Castle Grayskull.
That was always the highlight, is you kind of had to hold your foot against the door to make sure that no one would walk in on you.
Castle Grayskull, we have the power.
Welcome, Brewing TV viewers, to the even greater American Beer Festival. This is the inaugural year for it. It's just getting started, and it's very exclusive. You can't even buy tickets to it. You can't even buy your way into it. You're just invited, and there were not a lot of invites given out this year. So maybe next year you could come. I figure if we can like quadruple the attendance, get like 4 people here in 2012, I would probably let us get some pretty sweet sponsors like Bic Pens or Charmin or something like that. I don't know. Let's go around to some of the displays and see what's being poured and try some beers at the GABF. What do we have here? Can I get like a little sample cup of this? No. Here at the even greater American Beer Festival, we don't have a budget for sample cups, but you can keep the can. We got a frost brewed liner here, vented wide mouth, that'll prevent glugging. 2-stage cold activation. You can see the mountain, so it's at the proper serving temperature. Take a little taste. Cool. I'd like to thank this can of Coors for coming to the even greater American Beer Festival. Let's keep looking around and see what's going on. Hey, hot stuff. You come to beer festivals often? There's another place over here I saw it had something. Oh, a local beer. That's cool. It's nice to see something from back home being poured out here. It's the beer of exceptional quality. Premium. Once again, no taster cups, I assume. That's correct, sir. Handsome packaging though. Let's try this. Yeah, I think it's better in the can than it is in the bottle, actually. It's not too bad. I don't know how I'd pick my favorite. From this festival. I'll just have to keep trying both of them. Back and forth, alternating swigs. Wonder how the guys are doing in Denver.
Well, it looks like you had to call in the recruit, the backup, the man. I'm here in Denver. We're gonna hit the long shot breakfast banquet this morning, GABF banquet, award ceremony. I don't know what it's called. Hit 2 sessions today, and then I don't know, figure something else to do. Got this beautiful pool up here on the roof, nice and warm in the sun right now. It's gonna be a good day. Got a pocket full of aspirin. I think I'm ready. Let's do this.
When you're with the Hopperazzi and you're in town covering the Great American Beer Festival, you get invited to all kinds of cool stuff. Brian and I started the day at the winner's announcement for this year's Sam Adams Long Shot Homebrew Contest.
Those of you who've been to the beer festival for a long time, but when I first came in 1984, it was a collection of it was part of the homebrewing convention. And the homebrewers were the big deal. And they tolerated this handful of microbreweries, people who had gone pro, but the GABF was just part of the homebrewers convention. So this huge thing grew out of the homebrewing community, as did the craft brewing movement. And you know, if you are at all involved with homebrewing, you realize that the line between a talented homebrewer and a practicing professional is arbitrary and invisible. Today, some of the best beers made in America are made not by commercial brewers, but by home brewers. The two winners are Joe and Corey. Don't thank me. You know, you guys earned it. I just showed up and drank your beer.
All right, together, guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There you go. Perfect.
Corey Martin's winning beer is a Munich Dunkel. Joe Formanek's beer is a Russian Imperial Stout. Both will be featured in long shot 6-packs next year alongside Sam Adams' employee contest winner. Once back in the hall, Joe and Corey poured samples of their beer for a waiting crowd at the members-only session.
I've been interviewed a lot during the last few days about the last 30 years, but I really have been thinking a lot about the next 30 years. And all of you people out there and all the people that are going to be brewers out there are poised, I am certain, to really, really change the beer landscape beyond what is imaginable. So I am looking forward to that.
The Saturday afternoon session is for AHA and BA members only, and it's also the session where everyone finds out the winners of the big GABF competition. This year, judges tasted their way through nearly 4,000 beers in 83 categories.
And the gold medal in the Pro-Am competition. Before Kaboom, a pre-prohibition lager by Seaweed Pops Restaurant and Brewery, Westminster, Colorado. Dennis O'Hara, brewmaster, and AHA member Tom Gardner.
Then it was time for the Saturday evening session, by far the craziest, loudest, and most festive of all sessions. We used the opportunity to talk with some more brewery folk.
All right, citizens, we're in the hologram of GABF. I'm here with Andrew Hood, head brewer from Tallgrass. Andrew, how's it been?
It's been critical. It's been awesome. This is fantastic. We're just blowing through our cans left and right, and yeah, I couldn't ask for anything. I mean, it's a mecca for craft beer.
And what about your beers? What do you have on tap? What are you making?
Well, tonight we brought 5. We did the Legend of the Liquid Brain, the Saison de Suitcase, the 40th anniversary wheat wine, the Man Beer, and then we also won a bronze medal for our Turn Up the Beets, which is a Belgian-style triple brewed with organic turnips, organic beets, beet juice, beet sugar.
All right, as you can see, we're at the end of the second session on Saturday night at Great American Beer Fest. We're wrapping it up. There's people everywhere. We're drinking some Utopia. Right now, 27%. It is good. Utopia, what do you think?
I told you, Chip. I told him. Utopia's pouring over here. Thank you, Chip. I love your basement, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Fans everywhere.
And before you knew it, the festival was over. We broke down our booth and headed back to the Twin Cities.
From everyone at Brewing TV and Northern Brewer, we want to give a hearty thank you to all the fans and customers we met during the festival. We also wanted to give a big thank you to our friends with Benny's who showed up at the festival. Brad Ring and Brew Your Own Magazine, Justin Crosley and the Brewing Network, the entire AHA staff, Owen, Jess, and Jenny at Y East, what's up, booth buddies? And the entire iBrewmaster crew. Cheers to making some new memories. Until October 2012 and the 31st Great American Beer Festival, all for brew and brew for all.
So, what is your highlight so far of the GABF?
Hanging out with the Cobra over here has been it's been an incredible experience.
There's some large men walking around that don't pay attention to where they're going. Party foul! I can't get in, there's a bunch of dudes. GABF, Great American Beef Fest. Cobra's been drinking too much.